building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, surprise, this is Dr. Judy, Real Talk with Judy host, and we're on the move. So we come here today with a special edition with my special guest, Kaylin Jean-Louis, and we're so glad to have her, Kaylin's Caring Connection, and we're going to talk today. We are on top of the city. That's where we are right now. We are on top of Tallahassee here at Hotel Duval. That's right, and we come with some special information. We're going to have a special talk today about what she's doing, but also we're going to talk about Alzheimer and dementia. We're going to talk about the heart of caregiving. Man, it's courageous. And I believe, Kaylin, what, you're 16?
Yes, ma'am.
Kaylin's only 16 years old, but the heart that she gives, the energy, the support that she gives to her mom, we're going to get into all that, y'all. What I've learned is caregiving ain't easy. What you say, Kaylin? Welcome to the Real Talk with Judy on the Move show.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be talking about this cause. Like you said, caregiving is not an easy task, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because I would always want to make sure they're okay. Always make sure my grandma and my great grandmother have the proper care that they need. So super duper glad to be on today.
Wow, and that is awesome. Because you said you wouldn't trade it for the world. You're 16 years old and you wouldn't trade it.
No, ma'am.
You wouldn't trade it?
No, ma'am. Honestly, it has its highs and its lows.
Yeah.
It has its trials and its tribulations, of course. But to know that they're good and not have to worry about any circumstances or anything like that, and to know that they are receiving the proper care, they have the proper love, they have the proper people around them, I would definitely want to just have that with them at all times.
I absolutely love that, Kaylin, because you're making a lot of sacrifices in your life to make sure, as you just stated, that your great-great-grandmother and your grandmother have the proper love and the right people around them. Is there a concern that perhaps sometime when people are placed in the hands of other people that perhaps they would receive the kind of love that they need?
To me, it depends on the person because it just depends on how you feel with the person you're caring for. I know for us, it's always been my mom's always been with her mom, and we've always been around them. So having the decision, having that time to decide whether we're going to have them or not at the house with us for 24 hours, for her, it was definitely there's not an option. She's going to be here with us. And for me, just seeing her make that decision, I either could have chose to sit there and not help, or I chose to actually step in the situation with her and make the best of it. And so for me and my family, that's just something we have. That's something we've always done, to just take care of those who took care of us at one point in our life. For other people, they may have a lot of different things going on. So having them in another facility is not necessarily a bad thing because they have that other person to help them out and they have those other people. But for us, caring for them is the best decision.
One of the things that I like it, and then you can make sure that they're getting the love that you want them to have, right? From the person that you want them to have. You also, today we're here with Kaylin Jean-Louis of Kaylin Caring Connection. She's taking care, she's helping. She's 16 years old and she's helping to provide the love and care to her 98-year-old grandmother. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. My 98-year-old great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother.
And my 79-year-old grandmother.
Oh, come on, y'all. That is absolutely fantastic. 98-year-old great-grandmother and 79-year-old grandmother. She's 16 years old, and she made the decision, because one of the things I know that your mom don't pressure you.
Right.
She tried to make it easy and try to take some of the burden off you And at the same time, you're trying to take the burden off of her. Right. So I think that is phenomenal because you made that decision to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
And being in school. Tell me some of the things that you're doing in school, and just tell us a little bit about Kaylin, because I think it is absolutely phenomenal that you're doing all these things and still helping provide care and love for your great grandmother and your grandmother. So tell me some of the things that you're doing.
Well, besides caring, I'm a part of several extracurricular activities at school. I am a member of National Honor Society at my school. I also am a member of Mu Alpha Theta at my school, and I am the chapter president of Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA. They're heard by both terms. Outside of school-related things, of course, I'm nonprofit owner of Kaylin's Caring Connection, a nonprofit organization. I started back in 2016, so it's been around for 5, going on 6 years. Very happy to have that. I'm a member of several executive boards for different organizations, whether it is the Geeks and Gramps organization. I also serve as a member of the JLT team board in Tallahassee. Was able to get that opportunity this year.
What is the JLT team? For those who listen and don't know the acronyms that you use.
That is the Junior League of Tallahassee, which is an organization where they have women come together to find better ways to aid our city and aid our community. And so I'm a part of the team board with junior and senior high school girls, and we are able to come together and fundraise and volunteer to help our community and better serve everyone in our community.
And what else about school? You got something else high going on in school. What else about school?
I also am dual enrolled. I also am a TCC dual enrolled student, and so I am doing TCC classes while in regular school classes, maintaining straight A's, being able to help out. I've also been able to bring KCK to school with me to be able to find ways to help other youth caregivers like me. And so I've been able to connect with our director at the school, Dr. Chambers, and we have been meeting up and will continue to meet up to find some ways to bring local support to FSUS to be able to help those caregivers.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And I wanted to do this today because we got a walk coming up, we got things coming up. Beyond Kaylin, and she's a member of Life Changing Church of God in Christ, where she still serves.
Yes, ma'am.
How in the world can this girl at 16 do all of this? This is absolutely phenomenal. And I want to say, Kaylin, we just pray God's speed upon you because you're doing a magnificent job. Okay, tell us a little bit about Alzheimer's for those who don't know. I know Alzheimer's and dementia. I know that you learned because you and your mom going to study and find out how to provide the best care.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit about Alzheimer's and dementia.
So for those who are unaware, Alzheimer's dementia disease is a disease that affects the brain. And so while our brains normally are able to constantly recover memories, constantly know the day-to-day steps and how to get from point A to point B, you have those dementia patients, those Alzheimer's patients who their brains are slowly deteriorating. And so they're losing memories. They're not able to recover short-term memory. Sometimes they remember long-term, even if it's things, of course, they're going to remember. I know my grandmother, she remembers the names of her kids. She may not be able to put a name to a face, but she remembers their names. She remembers some people's names. Sometimes we'll both be sitting there like, who is that? Because it's so far from the past. But their brains are constantly deteriorating. There actually are about 6 million people in America who are dealing with this disease. And so with so many people who sometimes it can be detected, sometimes it starts early, but the stages don't start showing until they're older. But it is a disease that in some cases can be hereditary, in some cases it can just happen out of nowhere, but it definitely affects a lot of people's lives.
Wow, you said over 6 million people?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that is a lot of people. That is a lot of people. And I want to thank you and your mom for providing such care and love and the sacrifices that you all make, because we see the sacrifices. So we're on that. To those of you who are tuning in, I want to say thank you so very much for tuning in. If you all would share this information, go ahead and share it on your page, get others to come on. It is a very important um, uh, uh, it's an important disease, I guess, that we need to learn more about, because I've become more aware since you and your mom have started providing the services to your great grandmother and your grandmother. I really didn't pay a lot of attention to it.
Right.
At first, I mean, I knew it existed, and I prayed for people who would talk about it, but now I am interested because of you and your mom. So you all really made me more aware of it, and then also caused me to want to know more about it.
Right.
You know, 'cause there's been some time I thought I had Alzheimer's. You know, and I was forgetting the keys and everything. I don't be remembering people. They say, "Hey, Pastor Judy. Hey, Dr. Judy. You remember me? We just met last Saturday." So, but to get this understanding, to learn, and then to see you all go through what you go through, to see how your mom sometimes, I mean, your mom total life is your great grandmother and your grandmother, her mom, and that is to be commended. And now, and then you started the Kaylin Karen Connection Youth Care 2 movement.
Yes, ma'am.
What made, I know that you're involved as a young person, but what really made you start this movement with young people?
Well, back in, I think it was January of this year, my mom actually got COVID. And so I had to step into the role as a primary caregiver for not only my grandmothers, but also her, because she couldn't come out of the room. And so being there back and forth, of checking on her, making sure they're okay. Of course, I didn't do it alone because we have a very big village to surround everybody. But even at night, when everybody went home and it was just me, I was helping my grandmother go to the bathroom, and I was helping make sure she was good. I was helping just to make sure they both were good. I would check on my mom and knock on her door, make sure she didn't need anything. But after doing all of that, when she was able to come out, I was like, I really was able to see how so many youth are going through things and how this is their life 24/7. I mean, I'm super happy that my mom is here and I'm just assisting her, but I couldn't imagine how many other youth were doing this alone. And then they don't have a village. They don't have people to help them. And so I started the youth caregiver. I did an award where I was recognizing other youth in the community. I had people nominate them, and that was back in February. We started on Valentine's Day, and we had it going up just to be able to say, hey, we want to honor you. We want to recognize you for your unselfish love care. And so we were able to give, I think, about $650 in total to about 5 youth in our community, just to be able to say we thank you and we want to make sure that you're honored for what you're doing, because caregiving isn't an easy task, especially when you don't have those people around you. And after doing that, I just decided I didn't want it to stop. I wanted it to keep going. And now we're in November and we still have it going. Yes, ma'am.
Wow, that is awesome. And what that shows, it shows the heart of a caregiver, the heart of a servant, because that's what it is, y'all. We said so many times we want titles, we want prestige, we want this, we want that. But in order to care for your loved ones like this, it takes heart. And then to want to give back. You experience something, then you give back. So she experienced taking care of her mom with COVID, her great grandmama with Alzheimer, her grandmother with Alzheimer, and then she decided, man, Kaylin, this is awesome. She decided to give awards to other youth who are taking care, who are caregivers for their loved ones.
Yes, ma'am.
And y'all heard her, she said, who may not have the village that she had. And I know y'all adults feel that is powerful to have that kind of care and concern, because you know what you go to. You know what you go through.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. And before that, y'all, she gave a whole bunch of money to the Tallahassee
Yes, ma'am. We gave
foundation, right?
$700 check. Yes, ma'am. To the TMH Foundation.
She gave a check to the TMH Foundation, and that check was for.
It was actually like three things mixed together. Mainly, it was for the healthcare heroes, which are the different care facility workers who have been helping in the COVID-19 unit, who basically were trying to get people better with COVID-19, trying to control the pandemic. And then some of the money went towards their Super Pup program, which is basically, it was able to give the kids in the hospital and the kids who were struggling, they're just teddy bears to say thank you. And part of the profits, when you donate to that, it gives a child a free Super Pup, and it just allows them to know that they're okay. So even if the child was going through something where they had to get a shot, they do the shot on the Super Pup. So they basically allow them to see that it's not as bad as it looks, and it just gives them comfort when they're in the hospital. And yeah, it just went towards all things TMH to be able to help them and make sure they were good. We're definitely great partners with the TMH Foundation.
Miss Doris, that's my auntie. Yeah, I know Miss Agnes, bless her heart, was her mom, my grandmother. So Miss Doris on here, she said amazing. The youth president, Mr. Booker's on here. He said Kaylin rocks. There's some others on here that I can't see, but I want to thank all of you all for tuning in, and we're gonna get to this walk, Kaylin. But I remember you at Ronald McDonald's house when you was a young girl, and I follow her, y'all. So I'm her photographer. Okay, we switched roles, so I follow her second, and then she said, "Get in the picture." No, I'm here to take your picture. So I become her mama's her manager. I'm her photographer. All right, because we are absolutely proud of Kaylin. So Ronald McDonald's house. I remember you going to the homeless shelter before you ate Thanksgiving.
Yes, ma'am. I think
you've been doing this a long time.
It's all been since I was little. Literally every time, even before we could open our Christmas present, my mom's first thing was, you have to help somebody else. And since I was taught those values and I was brought up that way, it's just always been there for me to just say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and I've just stuck with it.
Yep, because we can't eat till we serve somebody else, so we might as well go on and serve somebody else. This is absolutely fantastic, Kaylin. Now I know next Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
The 20th. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. November 20th.
November the 20th. They're having the Tallahassee Walk to End Alzheimer and Kaylin Caring Connection Youth Care 2 movement. Got a campaign going on.
Yes, ma'am.
And the goal is 100 youth walking, $1,000. Tell me about it.
Well, we partnered with the Alzheimer's Association this year because, of course, every year my mom had been doing her team, My Favorite Girl, and so we've been walking in awareness for my grandmother and great-grandmother and all the other people in my family who were affected from the disease or might have passed from the disease. And so this year I decided, because I've been doing the Youth Care 2 movement and I wanted to expand it in as many ways as I could, we decided to partner with them this year, and I was able to start Team Youth Care 2, which you can see on the shirt. And so with Team Youth Care 2, I'm trying to raise awareness for youth while being able to donate back to the Alzheimer's Association, because they are trying to find a cure for this disease so that families don't have to watch their loved ones deteriorate, and they can get those memories back. They can get that love and that care back with the people that they love. So we partnered with them this year. I think this is the first youth team in Tallahassee.
Really?
And so I want to have 100 youth walking with me. Now, I know I said that's my goal. I'm not saying that we can't have other people. I would love to have anybody who's willing to walk. Any person, whether you're an adult, a child, anybody. If you would like to walk, you can join me November 20th at the FSU's Langford Green Park, and so you could go out there. But my goal is to have 100 youth out there walking with me. You don't have to be a youth caregiver. I just want to have youth out there walking with me to basically stand in and be the people that are representing caregivers everywhere. Being able to say that we stand with you, we want to help advocate. And my whole purpose of the Youth Care 2 movement is just for them to know that we see them, and while they care for others, we care for them. And so that's why we started this. That's why we're going to be at the walk. So I look forward to seeing you all in there. Come in purple, because that is the color for Alzheimer's. And so we want to see you out there.
Hey, man, so listen, so y'all get some use. Miss Erica, she said, keep up the great work. Kaylin, Miss Erica, she moved to Orlando, but she's still a life changer. Thank you. But listen, y'all know some young people. Let's get 100 young people to walk with Youth Care 2 Movement Saturday. And there it is, right there.
Yes, that's where it'll be at.
So it's at the Tallahassee Walk to End Alzheimer. It's going to be at FSU, Langford Green, FSU, and it starts at 9 a.m. Let's try to get a bunch of, get a bunch of, let's work to get 100 youth walking.
Yes.
100 youth walking with Kaylin, Karen, and Commander.
Terrence,
you're gonna have to, after a while, we're gonna be able to call her Muffin. Terrence, she was a little girl. She's 16 now. you got to find a new name. You can't call her Miss Muffin. Well, that's good. That's really great too. But so we want to get the young people out, bring them out, parents. This would be a good opportunity to get them involved. And I believe that's what our young people, one of the things they need to be involved in something constructive, something that's adding value to other people, because this is exactly what they're doing. She's 16, she could be doing a whole bunch of things, like nothing. Like, that was a lot of them do. She could stay home and play on her video games all day and all night. But here she is, giving back to the society. And she said this, she wants the young people to know that we see them.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. We see you. Yeah, so y'all, let's work to get this event. And she wants to get $1,000.
Yes,
really.
Yes, ma'am. That's been the goal since day one.
$1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, the Real Talk with Judy show, Real Talk with Judy, that's me. I'm the host of my show. We'll give you $200 towards it. That good?
Yes, ma'am. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
See how excited she gets? She don't care how much you give her. Let's help her.
It could be $1.
So if you can't walk, if you're not able to be here, for all of those who tune in with me, donate.
Yes.
Give us some. Put your cash. You want the cash
the
app?
Cash app.
You want it?
Well,
or do you prefer
the link will be in the description. I mean, if you want a Cash app, if that's easy for you, that's totally fine, because we're going to be bringing that same thing back to the website. But you can go to www.kaylinscaringconnection.com/events, and on there it will show you the walk link, and you can click on there and you can donate through there. But simpler way, if you need it, you can Cash App $Kaylin Cares and donate as much as you want. Literally, I'm grateful for anything, because I know it's next week. I just want to be able to donate as much as I can to the Alzheimer's Association, because they are doing their absolute best to try to find a cure for this disease.
And they really are. And I remember when your mom first got started, she didn't know a lot of things. I believe she was they were very instrumental in getting her to understand a lot of things, and helping her to learn of the services. And so you all, let's help Kaylin. Let's help Kaylin, okay? Let's help her get that $1,000. Let's help her get 100 youth. Let's do what we can. And one of the things you can do is share this special edition on your page. That's one thing you can do, is share this on your page. And for everybody who would listen to this, today is Friday, November the 12th.
Yes.
So everyone who would listen to this show between now and next Saturday, donate.
Yes, please.
Get a youth. We got 100 young people in this city or in the surrounding areas who can come be a part of the Youth Care 2 movement for the Alzheimer Association. I used to couldn't say it either. I don't know what I used to call it, but I've learned how to say it now because I have to. So and I am really thankful to you and your mom, to all of the caregivers. Yes. It's a hard job. Watching your mom, watching you, watching my sister, just watching people who are caregivers. That's my sister Tanya. Just watching people, the sacrifices, that you have to make. When you watch what Dr. Therese, caring for Mother Therese, just watching people care. And I think it's an honor that people who go through different stages in life and are no longer capable of providing for themselves or caring for themselves have people who don't mind making a sacrifice of their own life to make sure that they receive, as you said, the love and care they deserve. Wow, this is awesome. Y'all, this is Real Talk with Judy, but I'm going to ask Kaylin if she would give us some closing remarks. Kaylin, say something to caregivers, adults, to the youth, and then those of us like me who are not the primary caregivers, but we're watching and being good to everybody. Talk to us.
So for our caregivers, one, you just have to know that what you're doing matters. It may seem like it doesn't matter because you're constantly giving all of your time and giving all of your energy to someone else. However, by being that person who is there for them, by staying with the person, even if it's hard for you to watch them go through what they're going through, it is definitely something that's going to benefit them, and it'll benefit you, because as much as they're not able to tell you that they thank you, or they may not always say it, they do, and they really appreciate it, even if they don't know how to communicate that to you. I'm telling you, they appreciate your love, they appreciate your care, and they are so thankful that you're here. Always know that there's going to be people for you, even if they're not in your family. You have us here, you have so many people online who are going to be here to raise awareness for you, who are going to be here to keep you going, to allow you to keep pushing, to allow you to keep caring. And just always know that there's people out there for you. You don't have to be worried. For those who are youth caregivers, you keep going. You have time. It's okay to give yourself time for self-care. It's okay for you to be able to have a moment to breathe, especially while you're caring for someone else. Just don't crack under the pressure. Don't allow caregiving to totally consume your life. You still have to have those moments to breathe. And then for those who are watching other people and you aren't necessarily a caregiver, but you are friends with someone who's a caregiver, in those moments where you see them struggling, be of assistance to them. Call them sometimes, not just to ask about the person who they're caring for, but to make sure they're okay. Make sure you call them and just ask, how are you doing? Do you need a break? Do you need somebody to talk to? Do you need to get out for a couple hours? I'll come over. Do you need food? I'll bring it to you. Just be of assistance in any way that you can, even if they may not come out and tell you that they need help, or if they may not ask you for that help. Just be there, because in the moments where they're struggling the most, or the moments where they're trying to grapple with what's going on, having those people there who will actually care for them and actually be there for them while they care for somebody else are the moments that are probably going to impact them for the rest of their life. So keep being there for them, keep caring, and continue to do what you're doing.
Good. Mr. Moria said, what an awesome young lady. So
Thank you, Mr. Mo.
Listen, Kaylin, that was good. That was really good. And she said a lot of good points, y'all. But listen, you know of a caregiver, don't ask her what I can do for you. She just told us what we can do. Call them, send them some food, cook them some food, just talk to them, go relieve them. I've asked Priscilla if she needed a relief, and if she tell me yes, then I'll find somebody to go relieve them so she could get a break. So sometimes you just got to do that too. And my sister Tanya, when she need a break, I pay somebody to go sit with my mom. No, I can do it. But listen, let's serve and pay attention to the ones who are caregivers, the ones who are youth caregivers, And from our heart, let us serve them. Let us serve them. The Cash App is back up. It's $, Kaylin Cares, Kaylin Cares, CARES. And anybody want to join me from the Real Talk with Judy show? We're gonna do $200 when I get back. We're gonna donate that to her. We're gonna see if we can get some walkers, some young people in there to walk. So if you know some young people, go get them, let them walk. All right, Kaylin, this is good. This is good. And I want to say that Pastor and John, and probably everybody who listens to you, are very proud of you. You're doing a great job. And because of that, I would like to say that God is just calling you to prosper. He's calling you to prosper. I believe that because we reap what we sow. So you're doing some things, and I believe that your life is good. You know, you've been through some things, but you're just a good champion. And I love to tell this story. I told your mama, because when she was born, y'all, the umbilical cord was, I think, tied around your neck or something like that.
Yes,
she was all wrapped in. But ever since she got unraveled, she's been talking and serving. She's been talking and serving. And Kaylin, we wouldn't have it any other way. You are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
And you're inspiration to so many of us. And I want to say to the audience, thank you all for tuning in to this special edition with Real Talk with Judy on the Move with Kaylin Jean-Louis. You never know where I'm going to show up, but I am going to show up. You better know that. And I'll bring you to the rooftop, or we can do it down in the valley. It doesn't matter. But you better know that Real Talk with Judy is on the move. And we're looking for good, inspirational stories. If I know you're having it, I'll show up. That's Real Talk. Kaylin, thank you, sweetheart. And we're expecting $1,000, and we're expecting young people. We're expecting 100 people, 100 youth, right? And she said that she doesn't want 100. She really wants the young people to come. She really wants the young people to come. So let's get those, let's go get them. Go get them from the neighborhood. They'll come, go get them. And they'll walk too. You got to go get them, all right? Listen, Kaylin, I see you in the future, sweetheart. And you're doing even better than you're doing right now. That's Real Talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with